At first glance, Lake Lanier looks peaceful. Sunlight reflects across its waters, families gather on the shore, and boats drift lazily in the distance. But beneath the surface of this man-made lake lies a dark history. Hundreds of people have drowned here. Entire towns were buried underwater, and locals whisper that the lake is cursed. This is the story of Lake Lanier, one of America's most haunted places. Hello and welcome back. Lake Lanier was created in the 1950s when the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers decided to build a massive reservoir in northern Georgia. The purpose was practical: to supply water to the growing city of Atlanta, to generate hydroelectric power, and to control flooding in the region. But to achieve this, more than 50,000 acres of land had to be flooded. This wasn't empty land, it was home to thriving communities. Farms, churches, businesses, and even entire neighborhoods disappeared beneath the rising water. Families who had lived on that land for generations were forced to leave everything behind. The relocation process was rushed. While officials promised to clear the area, much of the work remained incomplete. Trees were left standing, buildings were abandoned, and even cemeteries remained submerged. To this day, beneath the surface of Lake Lanier, there are roads that lead to nowhere, the crumbling foundations of homes, and countless graves that were never moved. Many locals believe that disturbing the land in such a way, drowning communities and burying the dead beneath water, could not come without consequences. From the very beginning, the lake carried with it a sense of unease, a man-made reservoir built on loss, tragedy, and unfinished stories. Unusual deaths and accidents. Since its creation, Lake Lanier has earned a chilling reputation. Over the decades, hundreds of people have died here in what many describe as strange or unexplained accidents. What puzzles investigators and terrifies locals is not just the number of deaths, but the nature of them. Strong swimmers suddenly vanish beneath calm waters. Boats crash in open areas with no clear obstacles. In many cases, victims' bodies are never recovered, as if the lake itself refuses to give them back. Survivors who narrowly escape drowning often tell the same unsettling story. They felt something pulling them down, as if invisible hands were dragging them beneath the surface. This disturbing pattern has fueled rumors that the lake is not just dangerous, but cursed. With nearly 700 recorded deaths since the 1950s, Lake Lanier is considered one of the deadliest bodies of water in the United States. Ghost stories and legends. As if the accidents weren't enough, Lake Lanier is also surrounded by ghost stories and local legends. The most famous is the tale of the Lady of the Lake. In 1958, two women drove off a bridge and plunged into the waters. For decades, their car remained hidden beneath the lake. Then, years later, divers discovered it, and inside were human remains. Not long after, reports of a mysterious woman in a blue dress began to spread. Witnesses say she wanders the shoreline, appearing to have no hands, before vanishing into thin air. But the Lady of the Lake isn't the only story. Fishermen and boaters claim to hear disembodied voices at night, echoing across the water when no one is there. Some report seeing boats drifting with no one on board, or shadows moving just below the surface. With so many towns, homes, and cemeteries still buried beneath the water, many believe these spirits are restless, forever trapped in the place they once called home. Modern fears and the curse. Even in recent years, Lake Lanier continues to claim lives. Despite warnings and its deadly reputation, it remains a popular spot for swimming, boating, and fishing. Yet, it consistently ranks among the highest drowning rates in the country. For many Georgians, the lake is a place they avoid at all costs, convinced that it is cursed. Families of victims often echo this same belief, that something darker than water hides beneath the surface. Skeptics argue that the lake's dangers are more practical than paranormal. They point to poor visibility, underwater debris, jagged tree stumps, and strong currents as explanations for the high number of accidents. And yet, these logical answers don't explain the ghostly sightings, the chilling sensations felt by survivors, and the stories that continue to spread. Whether by superstition or fact, the lake has taken on a terrifying identity that no amount of reasoning can erase. So, what do you think? Is Lake Lanier haunted by the spirits of those who were displaced, drowned, or buried beneath its waters? Or is it simply a dangerous man-made lake with a tragic past? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. One thing is certain: with its dark history and unexplained tragedies, Lake Lanier is more than just a lake. It is a mystery that continues to haunt America. Would you dare to swim in its waters? Or would you stay far, far away? That's all for today's mystery. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you soon.